Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft Dinosaurs, where I have been stood here looking over this river view for like the past week. I'm in love with what we did in our last episode. I think the Diplos look so adorable from across the riverway and I just can't get enough. If you didn't catch last episode, we redesigned the Diplo enclosure, the Aloe enclosure, and also the Stego enclosure, and we started the next big project for this world, which is the Visitor Center that I've been designing in creative live streams over the past couple weeks, and I think it's getting just close enough to being ready to be built in the Dinos world. Which brings us to this, our brand new Confuciusaurus enclosure that we've finished off the episode with in what is going to be our visitor center, but as you can see, it is very unfinished, very unpolished, and yeah, it's not much right now. So we're going to get to building in just a second, but our Confuciusaurus have grown up a little bit, and I have two name suggestions for them. I put the entrance just to the side here, so let's hope that none of them get out. So let's see. I have Athena and Apollo, so I'm going to name this one Apollo, because this one is the male. And please don't rename Fusion, our beautiful, beautiful boy. And then this one shall be Athena. So these names were actually suggested by the user you see on screen. Big shout out to them for actually giving me these name suggestions. I really loved like Apollo for this one. Not that one, that's Fusion. Where did Apollo just go? There he is. I really liked Apollo because it made me think that like the handlers of this enclosure were gonna name him Apollo because he's always flying up high in the enclosure. And I thought that was a really cool just little detail. So yeah, so we've got Apollo, Athena, and our first ever de-extinct creature, Fusion. So without wasting too much more time, there's some stuff that I want to get to for this build, but before we do all that, I want to start making a couple of vanilla farms because in my creative design, I have used several hard to acquire blocks to like build this whole thing. So the first thing I want to build is a frog farm. And that means a quick trip to the Nether, where it's really bleak in here. There's literally just the portal to my Ender portal, there's the portal home, and then way off in the distance there is a portal to the Mesa and the Mangrove, and there's kind of like torch paths going the different directions. So what we need to do now is apparently go around and try and find a basalt delta biome while it's kind of just being on the roof of the Nether. So I'm just kind of going to walk around until I see the sky change. I have found the basalt delta, I have gathered the materials, and now it's time to follow this lovely tutorial by Shulkercraft and build this farm. I lost the footage of gathering the frogs, but they are all in there, at least the two kinds that I really need. I didn't get the green frogs, but we have enough of these frog lights. I did about like 20 minutes of AFKing, and it's already produced more than I'll ever need, but these are really annoying to get just on their own, so I think having a farm for them really works, and now let's head over to the other farm I want to build. And it involves these eggs you see in my hands right now. You see, several episodes ago, we went on an adventure to get some sniffer eggs, and they've just been sitting in a chest ever since. So, let's go ahead and place them down and get to building this farm. And there they are, our cute little sniffers just down there. I think that this was a very easy farm to set up. It's kind of just a railway and then like blocks on top of it to make a little platform. So I went ahead and tried to decorate it a little bit, and I have to tell you, it does look really weird, just kind of stood out in the middle of this field, but there's a very specific reason for that. This area is going to be our greenhouse area. I want to do a greenhouse build, probably not today, considering I need to focus on the info center, but sometime in an episode soon, I'm going to build kind of a big greenhouse that's going to kind of serve as the place where we cultivate all of our extinct plants. Several people in the live stream chats and in my Discord have been challenging me to actually use the fossils and archaeology plants, and so I need to finally bite the bullet and set them up. So this is a good step in that direction, and very soon we will be coming over here to build our greenhouse. But I'm going to hang around for a little while, let these guys grow up so we can start getting some of the pitcher pods and the torch flowers. But after I do that, I'm going to head over to the chicken coop for our last farm. And I definitely already gave it away, but now that Fusion is settled into his new enclosure, it left me with the question of what to do with his old one. It's such a piece of the world's history that I can never see myself like tearing it down or changing it in any substantial way, because this has been here since episode 2 of the series, and it's just I don't ever think I want to remove it, but I do want to give it a new function. And I think it has just enough room that if I actually put some chickens in here, I can make an automatic chicken cooker that like outputs into my starter house, just because I think you can see it right there. That is my cow pen, and I've been using the cows for the meat for the park to feed currently only our Allosaurus and our Dilophosaurus, just because those are the only two carnivores that need meat. The rest are all fish eaters. But as we look to expand the park, we're definitely going to need more than what that cow pen can actually give me. So I think retrofitting this with an automatic chicken cooker will serve us quite well going forward. So yeah, I'm going to quickly tear this all out in the inside and hook it all up. I may have put way too many chickens in here, but I grabbed a whole inventory full of eggs, so we have now a lot of chickens in what used to be Fusion's enclosure. There's so many. But basically, I put mud on the floor so that way hoppers can grab them here, and then they just go down to this dispenser where they get dispensed and they sit like below the lava till they grow up, and then the drops kind of end up here. And this will definitely help like with some of the feeding of all the carnivores and stuff, because we've already got the herbivores settled with all the farms that we've got over there, but we needed something for the carnivores, and so this is my solution. And I'm now going to try and get out of here without letting too many of them out. Okay, one got out. You know what? That works. And you can see all of them in there. This is my new favorite thing in the world. That's enough messing around with frogs, sniffers, and chickens. It's now time to lock in and actually get to work on this info center. The exterior is essentially done. There's a couple of things, obviously, that will need to be done in the future to finalize the build. Some expansions that I could add to, like, really add to the shape, some texturing to be done, and obviously all of the landscaping to really tie it into the existing terrain and into our existing park. But I think the exterior is good enough that I can start working my way to the inside, because currently it's a whole mess and a half in here. There's so many different rooms, and then there's just this big giant mess of all the stuff we put together on the exterior side that needs to be brought into different things on the inside. And if I haven't already mentioned it, I want to basically put every single kind of dinosaur biofossil statue into this building to kind of showcase all of the different things. So it's going to kind of function as our museum building. So I've got a lot of work cut out for me, and I think I want to start towards the front here, where I want to turn this front room into sort of a front desk check-in area. Something I really want to shine in this build is just the attention to detail. I would really like it if people see this and think, wow, that's like really cool, or like that's a really cool building trick that he's put there. I just really want this to feel very alive. I want everything to feel lived in. I want it all to feel good on the eyes, obviously. And yeah, so I'm really going to try and cram as much detail into every single room of this thing. And it's going to be like doing small things like maybe adding a computer at the front desk, making sure that there's going to be a chair here at the front desk. And I've kind of gone through a lot in creative and worked on some of these designs beforehand, and that's obviously helped. But as I'm going through, I'm going to keep thinking about what little areas could I add something? Where could I add a planter? Where could I add a painting? And I'm going to kind of carry that into every single room in this build. I now think this looks so good when you walk in. I think that this desk looks really detailed, like someone actually works here and really is trying to take care of it while they sit here basically all day. I really wanted, like, this is obviously such a small space in the front here, but I did really want to like kind of add bits of interest and stuff. And I think there's only one detail that's missing. And that's our receptionist, this handsome fella right here, Fern, our good friend, who is going to act as our receptionist. I really want to get a lot of my FA YouTuber friends as little workstations throughout the build, and I thought, what a better face to greet you as you open into the info center. And yeah, so Fern's going to be our receptionist, and he's working really hard. I think this room is very good, and I want to move into this one, kind of following a similar like workflow. I'm going to add a ceiling to basically confine this room. We're going to work on some shelves, some detailing, maybe some display cases and stuff. Just again, trying to get as much detail as I can into this build, and then we can start working on some more fossil displays. And our final detail in this room, as I said, was going to be those fossils displays. And this is the first way I want to basically do them. I found out that if you place your biofossil statue down, you can actually completely encase it in glass if you just find the right hit point. You kind of have to maybe like move the statue around just like a little bit, pose it just a little bit between some blocks. But once you do that, you can find a very small gap like that. And then you've got this really nice look of an encased fossil. And you kind of see this when you go to museums. They've got several display cases that house the fossils, that's kind of making them stand up the right way. And so guests can't mess with them at all, but they can get a really up close and personal look at what those statues look like. So I'm going to do the same thing over here with probably, I would say, a compy for how big this is. And yeah, we're going to try and mix in some displays like this. We're going to have some open air displays for probably our bigger dinosaurs as we move into here. I think I kind of put a sign here that said Mesozoic exhibits. So I think all of our dinosaur skeletons are going to work into this room and into a room into here. I have been busy filling out the floor, but this room is super imposing. There's so many sections, there's so much to bring together, and I think the biggest piece of advice I can give when you have kind of a situation like this is to kind of basically break it up. If you add in walls, if you add in surfaces, if you just kind of break it up into little pieces, this can be its own thing, and then I can kind of carry this along this way and kind of make sure that this is its own thing. Like I can separate it out in this regard. And I think that'll help a whole heckin' lot when we go through decorating this things. If you can break it into smaller areas to decorate, you can put more detail. And see, that's a whole new corner where I can put a corner item. There's a whole new wall so we can put our glass on this side to see into the Confuciusaurus. We can do so much more if we just break up this larger space into much smaller ones. So I think I'm going to break it up into this room here, maybe another room kind of going along here, and then this little space will be an office space. So I might kind of break it up along this wall as well. So I'm going to go through and keep working on getting these interiors done, but I just wanted to share that little bit of advice when it comes to like dealing with such big spaces. Another helpful tip I can give you all is to not be afraid to let the interior of your builds affect the exterior. I was originally just going to cover this wall with the concrete, but I'm kind of thinking that it might be cool to break this wall a little bit, not all the way down, but to add basically an entrance and an exit onto this side of the building. We've got one over there that's pretty good, and I think it would be nice to have just another way to get out of the build and into the park. So I think that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to finish up putting this on here so that way it kind of expands this room, gives a little bit more detail on the outside, and I think that'll be just a really good inclusion. And then once I get that done, I think I'll bring you guys back when it's time to finally start putting all of our statues in. I have gotten all of the interior spaces fully decorated throughout the entire first floor, but as you can see, there's something notable that's missing, that being all of the dinosaur fossil skeletons. Yeah, I didn't have any fossil, so I went and did some mining over in the Megalodon area, and so I've got about a stack and 40 that I'm going to break down and get some biofossil, and then I'm going to take on the task of going through each of these rooms and on each of these pedestals, putting every single one of the dinosaur skeletons in here. It's going to definitely take a very long time because if you don't know the fossil and archaeology mod, you have to place down the fossil and then break it and then place it and then break it until you get the one you want. And that sometimes takes so long. And then you got to position them all right. So I'm going to take on that task. And once we get that done, I think this entire first floor will be pretty much done. That just took me so long. I know it was quick for you guys, but it was about 2 hours of just placing biofossil, breaking the biofossil, placing the biofossil, and then breaking it. I've gone insane. Like, it literally, like, took so long. I cannot be more thrilled for, like, a museum update in the future. Like, to just be able to, like, have a GUI to, like, be like, oh, I want this dinosaur, or oh, I want this dinosaur. And, like, it would be cool to pose them, but also, like, I think just being able to place them properly or like get the dinosaur you want on the first try would be so cool. But now that it's all done, I'm really happy it's behind us because it really does look phenomenal. Being able to walk through all of these different exhibits is so cool. We've got like our Jurassic exhibit in this room with all of our Jurassic creatures. We've got kind of our larger creature exhibit through here with like our Triceratops back there. We got the Diplodocus. We've got the Pachy's kind of looking like they're fighting. Obviously, the T-Rex is right there by the window, just so you can see it through the windows. And I know it's not sunsetting right now, but when it does, this view is incredible. And then, yeah, we've got, like, our, like, displays through here for our Spinosaurus and our Therizinosaurus, Paras. This one's my favorite, being the little, like, raptor display, having both of our raptors in the same display case. I thought it was just a really cool detail to show, like, the difference in anatomy, the difference in, like, size. It was just very cool. But there's so much work still left to be done on like the interior of the second floor where our Cenozoic creatures are going to be. I left this little staircase into a lower level that needs to be dug out. There's still so much work to do, but I think that this video is running out of time. But there's just a few things that I want to mention before we wrap up. The big announcement I have for you all is that as of earlier this week, the Dinos World and the Dino series officially turned a year old. To celebrate this milestone, we hosted a live stream where we checked out old videos and held a little birthday party. We held a fan art competition that is, as of recording, still happening but closed on the actual birthday. So I don't have the winners for this video, but probably next time I'm thinking of adding them into the various art places we have throughout this build. And just to encourage you all, I will always take art submissions for this build and for other places in the world. If you want to make fan art, I would love to showcase it in the actual world through the various paintings and stuff. I do have Immersive Paintings finally installed, so if you ever choose to make fan art, I will be probably putting it somewhere in this build. I also launched a TikTok and an Instagram page for you guys to check out, where I'll be posting shorts and other posts to kind of go along with the series. The final thing I wanted to do to commemorate 1 year of playing in this world and making this series is go ahead and release another world download. I know we just did a couple of episodes ago, but I figured to commemorate 1 year of builds, I thought it would be good to just go ahead and release another one. So, if you would like to check that out, that's available in my Discord for Tier 2 members. And honestly, I don't ever want to push you guys to become one, but if you do want to go through and check out this world, it is available for you through that. And I do want to take the time to go ahead and thank my current members, whose names should all be on screen now. I just can never say it enough. You guys mean so much, and I'm currently working on a design for the Hall of Members that's going to go in the sub-level of this build, where your name is going to get put on the wall. I'm going to probably have that done in the world download, but it's not done right now, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up, and I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's watched this far. You guys are amazing. Thank you for 1 year of this series. Thank you for being an amazing community, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!